Hands up if this sounds familiar. You've got a bit of time and a strong urge to go out and take photos. But instead of having the Lake District or the Alps right on your doorstep, you've got the beautiful North German plain. Or more precisely, you're in what's called the North German lowlands. And in terms of Lower Saxony, probably somewhere in the West German Geest. Yeah, this was fun to translate. So in order to still get some decent landscape shots here, or at least have a chance at them, I often dig through various digital maps to figure out what might be interesting and when it's worth heading out. And this time, I thought I'd take you along for the whole process, from the initial idea all the way to the final image. Okay, so my idea is to photograph the Castle Marienburg in our region here. So I'll just look that up. And so now, once I've found the Castle Marienburg, I can take a closer look at where it's located and how it's located here on this little mountain. I don't think it's 100% accurately depicted here, but I think it'll give me a rough idea. So my idea for a photograph is that I want to have the setting sun in the same frame as the Castle Marienburg. And to check that, Google Earth has one fantastic tool, which is right up here. Right here you can simulate the path of the sun. And by moving the slider here, I can look where the sun's gonna set.
Und dann kann ich also gucken, Sonnenuntergang ist heute also kurz nach 4. Und meine Idee ist ein Drohnen.
And my idea is to take a drone shot, so Google Earth is quite appropriate because it already gives me an idea. I can even check my viewing height. This right here says 281 meters. I can go up to 100 meters without my drone complaining that I might be flying too high. And that'll give me approximately this height here. So I already think this is gonna look quite nice, with the Castle Marienburg towering above the trees, the river Leine making its way across the land, and the sun setting back there.
Unter den Horizont drunter rutscht. Und da werde ich sicher...
And I'm sure I'm gonna check a few different compositions because I really like how the river bends right here.
Wenn die Leine hier vorne sich so durchs Bild durchschlängelt. Das könnte halt...
That could already look pretty awesome.
Das heißt, ich weiß schon mal in welche...
Now I know where I roughly want to go at least. That's the sugar factory in Nordstemmen, so I'm gonna just park up somewhere here and walk over there. So the second thing I'm gonna check is what kind of decides if I'm going or not, and that is, what's the weather gonna be like? And for that I like to check the weather maps from the Deutscher Wetterdienst, because they have a pretty accurate cloud forecast. And now if I take a closer look at this, I'll dare to say that could work out today. I might be, once more, excessively optimistic in this, but there are a few holes in the cloud cover, and there is one large one. If I'm really lucky and that expands far enough south, this could work out. I mean, basically it's not the right direction, but if I take a look out of the window, I'm at least optimistic. So I'd say, let's check if this is a correct gut feeling or if I have to go back there another time. And now, idiot me completely forgot that I have to fill up the gas tank. This could cost me a few important minutes. If only I set off early enough for one single time. Yeah, no honey, you keep telling me that. Completely forgot about it. And now I've got a distance of 26 kilometers to drive and a remaining reach of 25 kilometers. So even if I got there somehow, I would be able to get back. So there's nothing I can do about it. I've got to stop at a gas station. As if it hadn't been enough that I forgot my purse and had to turn around, drive back and climb 4 stories. According to the sat-nav, I'm gonna be arriving without the gas station roughly 15 minutes prior to sunset. So let's keep our fingers crossed it'll work out. I mean, this could work out as I'm hoping if I get there in time. I could really use these minutes differently. Are we done that thirsty thing? What can you do about it? Not only am I now stuck behind a sugar beet truck, going at a perfectly reasonable speed of course, now the cloud cover I was worried about in the app is rolling in on the horizon, making the sun disappear even earlier. Great. Technically it's moving. Just downhill and backwards. Yeah, no need to tell me you don't need a 3D printer. Right here I can attach the remote control to my chest strap, and over here I've got the drone ready to go. I'm just super happy this works out.
Also,
alright, so the sunset definitely didn't work out. Let alone that I could have remembered to fill up or not forget my purse, but there's nothing about that thick cloud cover that I can do.
Wand aus Wolken da hinten, kann ich nichts machen.
But now I'm here, so I might as well throw the drone up in the air. I mean, worst case, this is a recon mission and I've got to come back here when the conditions are better.
Verlässlicheren Bedingungen, sag ich mal wieder.
My research at the computer helped a lot, and I realized that the Castle Marienburg really does rise above the trees pretty much exactly the way it was shown. And so I find my original composition fairly quickly, just unfortunately without the sun this time. The river Leine makes for a fantastic leading line here.
Oh Mann.
Oh boy, if only there was a crack in these clouds there. How beautiful would that be?
Gucken, ob ich eine Spiegelung...
Let me check, maybe I can get a reflection down there in the water, but I think that tree line over there is rising too high.
So, da ist jetzt dann...
And there we have a reflection of the Castle Marienburg.
So.
There.
Das.
Like that. So we're gonna remember this, Mattis, and we'll come back in autumn.
Dafür kommen wir im Herbst nochmal wieder. Jetzt möchte ich...
Now there is another thing that I'd like to try out, and that is to place the drone further away.
Und da will ich nämlich...
And I want to see if I can incorporate the bend the river makes here.
Mal noch mit in den Vordergrund kriege. Da ist die Marienburg dann zwar schon ganz schön...
The castle is getting pretty small in the image here, but the composition overall, I think that's gonna be beautiful. This is what I had in mind, and how I would love to have the sun back there. And just to be sure, I'm gonna shoot this both in 48 megapixels as well as in 12 megapixels. Because 12 megapixels is lower resolution, but the individual pixels are larger, and this helps massively in low light.
Bei schlechten Lichtverhältnissen.
Meine, holy moly, it is freezing. I can barely feel my fingers, despite me wearing gloves. Just for the record, not a single cloud up there. Clouds. Right where the sun is. Or where the sun has been. It's been gone for 45 minutes now. Ugh, I think I'm gonna call it a day here. My hands just hurt so much.
Dermaßen die Hände weh jetzt. Ich sehe nur noch zu.
I'll just get myself back home.
Tut das weh, ey.
And I'll make sure that I come back in more favorable conditions.
Nochmal herkomme, wenn die Bedingungen besser aussehen. Bis denn. Das ist ja übrigens auch ein fantastisches.
And this is a fantastic example why I really don't like shooting sunsets. Or not exactly that I don't like it, but why I find it so hard to shoot sunsets. Because it feels like I'm always chasing the light. I mean, yeah, miserable time management on my part today. But I'm so much chasing the light. And I don't have that with sunrises. I mean, the sun's approaching me, so to speak. A few weeks later, I find myself back here. The light last time wasn't amazing, but I really like the subject. And today already looks much better with the sun. And even better, today the position of the sun and the Marienburg line up in such a way that the light can actually shine through the top windows of the tower. If only my drone had an aperture I could stop down for a proper sun star. But with a shot like this, I really can't complain. And still, I don't think this is the Marienburg photo just yet. Is it good? Yes, but I'm sure it can be better.
Ich glaube, ich habe 2 Dinge falsch.
Okay, I think I got 2 things wrong this morning and 1 thing right.
2 Dinge, die ich falsch gemacht habe.
And the 2 mistakes I made are I forgot my hat
Ich habe meine Hand.
and I forgot my gloves.
Aber
But it's like 5 degrees Celsius, so I think I should be fine.
Was ich
The thing I got right, I believe, was my assumption about the weather.
das Wetter einzuschätzen. Ich möchte nämlich heute Morgen mal im Sonnenaufgang.
Today I'd like to photograph in the sunrise, and usually I tend to shoot facing towards the sun.
In die Sonne rein zu fotografieren. Aber das will ich
But that's not what I want to do today. Today I want to shoot the Castle Marienburg catching the very first intense orange sunlight.
in diesem schönen roten Licht haben. Ich hatte ein bisschen die Befürchtung,
I was afraid that there wasn't gonna be any proper sunlight because there actually, you can see it over there with the moon, there's actually a thin cloud cover.
da hatte ich die Befürchtung, dass
And so I was afraid that there is nothing gonna happen today. But it doesn't look too bad actually.
bei dem Sonnenuntergang, bei dem ich hier war,
Just like at my other 2 visits here, today I mainly want to shoot with the drone.
eigentlich hauptsächlich mit der Drohne fotografieren. Weil
Because basically the region of Hanover... Wait.
das stimmt gar nicht.
Over there is the region of Hanover. This right here is the Hildesheim municipality.
Wie dem auch sei, auf jeden Fall ist es hier
Either way, this is a pretty flat landscape. But a drone gives you the ability to get some elevation and give you a different perspective from what you usually see. Nevertheless, with the river right here, I actually think I want to take a shot with the big camera as well. It is really looking beautiful with the Castle Marienburg located up there. I mean, it almost looks like it's a movie set. I mean, yeah, it's being used as the movie set for this series called Maxon Hall, I believe. It looks like it was built there as a movie prop, and that's not what it is. I mean, it's been standing there since... Right, chasing compositions. I actually find it quite difficult finding a nice composition from the ground level here. I mean, the river is a fantastic leading line and an element that tremendously helps me guide the attention towards the Castle Marienburg. But the further I go around the bend of the river, it's actually getting in the way of the composition and drags away the eye from the castle. So I think the position that I checked out earlier is actually the best spot from here to take a photograph of the castle. I've still got... Oh, yeah, okay. Technically the sun rose about 3 minutes ago, so I better get back over there and I'll let the drone rise from there as well. It's really a shame, and the weather forecast was right about this. I'd really love to have some cloud cover behind the Castle Marienburg in order to have something happening in the sky. And I was hoping for something to catch some color up there. That's why I've got the sun over there and the castle over there. But there's absolutely nothing happening there. But hey, you gotta make the best out of what you got. And it looks like it's exactly happening what I was hoping for. At least regarding the sunlight on the castle. Because that is starting to glow orange. Now I gotta be quick about a composition. I'm currently at around 60 millimeters. And I gotta make sure it can somehow make an interesting image. I mean, in this case, I really don't think too much about the wide angle. Because if I make this too wide... I mean, yeah, I'm gonna incorporate this tree right here, but it's dragging so much attention. It doesn't really add anything to the composition, I think, and it distracts from the castle. And that's not what I want.
Das will ich überhaupt nicht. Ich will ja den Fokus auf der Burg haben.
Just a brief hint of orange light on the castle, and that's it. At the tail end of winter, things here really aren't that spectacular. The colors are pretty flat and there's absolutely no texture in the sky either. Let's see what it looks like from the air today. Well, color and texture are pretty much the same as from the ground, but at least the high angle makes the composition a lot more interesting. And I think there's something here. Just maybe not at this time of year. Everything over there, those are leaf trees. So I definitely have to get back here in autumn. Because I'm finding compositions here that absolutely blow my mind.
Da gehe ich kaputt bei. Ich meine,
I mean, how beautiful is it the way the Castle Marienburg sits on top of the mountain there, surrounded by all these trees that are gonna be bright and full of color in autumn, and the river right here in the foreground. What I really love about this drone, I'm flying the DJI Mini 3 Pro, is that you can actually rotate the camera 90 degrees to take proper portrait orientation photographs.
Wirkliche Hochformatfotos aufzunehmen.
You're not just basically taking a landscape shot and cut away the edges, but you're actually turning the camera.
Max altitude reached.
Yes.
That's always a slight jump scare for me. Can't tell you why.
Oh man.
Oh boy, this is so much of an autumn location. For a nice warm late summer morning, when it doesn't matter if I remember to bring a hat and gloves. Now I'm gonna take this shot once more that I already took the last time that I was flying here, which is the bend of the river below the Castle Marienburg, because this is absolutely beautiful. And so I'm gonna place the castle roughly on the upper right third and have the river bend its way through the landscape. One more shot. One more shot. Because I found one more interesting composition. I've got the river coming into the image right at the middle from the bottom, swaying to the left lower third, making its way up to the right upper third, where the castle is sitting. And below that, the river bends back to the left. I quickly had to take that shot because the drone is about to return back home. And down in the river, I'm having a reflection of the castle. And I really like that. And now I'm gonna get the drone back here because it's running low on battery. Okay, the sunrise didn't exactly work out as I was hoping for, but I think I took a few decent shots anyway. Maybe at least with the big camera and the sunlight on the castle worked out. Either way, I think this is a location to return back to. Maybe in autumn or in summer, definitely when it isn't as freezing cold. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of videos, feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.